The following message from the Galactic Federation was channeled by Sheldan Nidle on September 20, 2008. Greetings. We arrive with much to say. Everywhere on your world the concluding struggle between your last dark cabal and our Earth allies goes on. This conflict is reaching a point where a denouement must happen. We have begun to see both sides taking risks they would normally not take. The credit crunch forced upon the Dark Cabal by a failure to adopt the Basel II agreements led in the past week to a proposed U.S. government-sponsored cash bailout rated in the hundreds of billions of dollars. This is a temporary measure at best. It does not address the Grand Alliance of Nations, major financial investors in effect, and there is an urgent need to manifest the rest of our Earth allies' new financial system. All of this is continuing to put a great deal of pressure upon the Dark Cabal and its Anglo-American base. The process of squeezing the old Fed dollar and draining the pro-Cabalist U.S. regime of its credit resources has not much longer to go. Many of the places to put these funds are denied to them, and the ongoing threat of sudden seizures remains. The secret war is reaching serious proportions as brief skirmishes pop up from time to time. This warfare is leading our Earth allies into positions that, in the end, make their triumph inevitable. We watch closely and know just how serious this struggle has become. This global clash has many fronts. Primarily this matter is about power and the one element that is the lifeblood of power: money. Behind this are two different philosophies. The first, ours, advocates an end to the yawning gap between rich and poor in the reform of those instruments that have put most nations and people either in near poverty conditions, or on the verge of fiscal disaster. Debt forgiveness and redistributing trillions of dollars to your world permit it to change its focus and move away from the trumped-up wars and the ongoing chaos of a world struggling to survive. Remove all this, and new possibilities open up. Suddenly, the difficulties of the post-World War II era can be addressed in numerous new, creative ways. This is the objective of your quiet revolution. The way of the Dark Cabal is to hoard untold wealth and create a false sense of limited money supply. This is then further stressed by the use of usury, fractional banking, and, above all, constant multi-generational inflation. These devices are used to manipulate national economies and force policies upon their people that are detrimental to them and very profitable for the minions of the Anunnaki and their friends and families. This process has been going on for millennia and is now at a point where its continued application has become increasingly problematical. Yet, those operating this grievous system are unwilling to give it up, and this obstinacy has consequences. The system is drying up as the means to keep it going starts to evaporate. Normally the perpetrators of the old system would have a few decades in which to maneuver. However, the current environmental crises and the shift now occurring in many commodity markets are signs that this system is in the midst of a grand decline. A new paradigm is now increasingly essential. Our Earth allies have delineated such a paradigm. As you look at what is happening on your world, you can clearly see that there is a natural evolutionary process that is being greatly speeded up. This acceleration is due in large part to the environmental abuses of the old economic system and the recent, huge population explosion. This opens the door to daring and pressing solutions, and the rise of our Earth allies is a much-needed response to this demand. They are looking at your world and moving to give you viable solutions. The next stage in your evolution is the shift from planetary to galactic human. This presupposes your leap toward full consciousness. There is also a need for a new scientific paradigm, one that returns spirit to the science equation. The post-quantum world of modern science, with its hint of morphogenesis and the so-called 100-monkey effect, is beginning to concede that there are factors in this reality that need to be added. This can lead easily to a spiritual science that reflects a new consciousness mindset. This march toward full consciousness is happening on many fronts. There are the many changes to your physiology, including the way divine light enters your energy systems. This allows ever more light to suffuse you and accelerate the manifestation of your new chakras and new genes. This operation permits you to awaken in greater and greater numbers. We are also aiding this process through the numerous nightly adjustments performed by our ever-increasing numbers of Galactic Federation medical teams. They are becoming more sophisticated in the way they perform their duties, and so a great influx of divine light is streaming into you and paving the way for the creation of a new, fully conscious you. This new being is the reason this reality cannot continue as presently constituted. A new reality is needed, which includes your entry as a fully fledged member into the Galactic Federation of Light. This movement from limited to fully conscious being is the main element in all that is now happening around you. This divine operation is being closely guided by heaven and overseen by our aforementioned medical teams. It is this special process that the Dark Kabbalists discover they cannot stop. The Creator decreed that this is to happen to you now. Therefore, all the many parts of heaven and physicality have converged to ensure that this decree occurs as planned. Against this, the Dark Kabbalists have few successful resources. It is the failure of these last remaining resources that has sent them into their current panic mode. What is left is to let the divine plan work out the last details and fully manifest the results. These are to permit you to return to full consciousness and meet your spiritual and space families. As you morph into who you truly are, you can then grasp what this really means. Full consciousness makes you the planetary and star system guardians that you were meant to be. This stewardship of physicality is a special talent that the Divine Creator has given you. For many millennia you have wandered through your reality encased in an amnesia that robbed you of the ability to see how you have given away your vast powers to others. These highly manipulating and deceitful masters have taken you on a crazed ride through the strange realms of the dark. Here, you have learned many skills and developed a wisdom that is soon to serve you well. It is this knowledge that can permit you to help transform this galaxy and others. Your talents are considerable and are much needed throughout the whole of physicality. The next parts of this drama are proving to have a most interesting prelude. The events to come will be mind-boggling. There are to be shocking changes to your reality, the greatest of which will be our arrival. First contact is turning out to be a most complex operation. Nevertheless, we are prepared for whatever is to come and fully understand the enormous implications of this consciousness transformation. Each reality is a special construct whose grids can be altered through a broad consensus of its most sentient inhabitants, in this case, you. As you overcome your supposed limitations and learn of your great abilities to promote change, it is hardly surprising that you may be a little overwhelmed by it all. Remain calm, centered, and ready for what is to come. Remember that together, we are indeed victorious. Today, we resumed our discussion of what is happening on your world. We talked about the reasons and actions behind what is happening. We ask you to release your frustrations as the divine time for everything to happen is fast approaching and the moment for first contact gets closer with each day that passes. We now leave. Know, dear ones, in your heart of hearts that the countless supply and never-ending prosperity of heaven are yours. So be it. Selamat Gajan. Selamat Ya, Syrian for be one. And be enjoy.